Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I've got an unboxing video of a different kind. I've got the latest Adizero lineup and sort of want to go through, unbox these Adizero line of shoes. It's sort of like a rotation, Adizero rotation that we've got here, and I've also got the Takumi Sen 10 as comparison to the new Takumi Sen 11. So I was going to make just an unboxing video of the Takumi Sen 11, but decided that let's have a look and see how the new Adizero lineup stacks up to each other. I've got the scales adjusted so we can weigh them, do a comparison, and this is sort of like a rotation that you could use as sort of your faster session shoe in the Sen 11 or Sen 10, your sort of marathon training shoe for the Adizero Pro, Adios Pro 4, and the Adizero Evo SL as your sort of daily trainer. So we'll get into the unboxing, but before we do, I just want to thank everyone that's subscribed and that liked my videos. And if you like my content and sort of like my videos, just hit that subscribe button. It really helps, and hit that like button. So where should we start off with? So firstly, we'll leave the Takumi Sen 11 for last because obviously this is the star of the show. But firstly, I just want to tell you that these are all US size 12, UK 11.5. So there's the specs for the Adizero Adios Pro 4. There's the specs for the Adizero Evo SL. And there's the specs for the Adizero Takumi Sen 11. So what I've done is I wanted to compare weights in terms of all new shoes. This is also a brand, I've actually running this only once, but this is a Takumi Sen 10, and I sort of wanted to weigh this and stack them up against each other and see what they all sort of compare to. Now we've got 6mm drop in the Evo SL. We've got a 6mm drop in the Adios Pro 4. We've got a 7mm drop in the Takumi Sen 11 and 10. So the stats are usually 39.5 and 36.5 for the Adizero Adios Pro 4 in the sample size. Obviously my US 12 is probably going to be about 3mm higher in the stack heights. The Evo SL, you've got 40mm and 33, and the Takumi Sen, you've got 36 and 29. So yeah, I won't give you the weights because we want to weigh them and see what they look like. So let's firstly start off. This is a new colorway for the Adios Pro 4. Let's see what we've got here. Individually wrapped. Okay, and bang! Wow, this is such a stunning colorway. It's taken me some time to get. I've got the silver version of this Adios Pro 4, and I've been running in that. I've got probably about 315 kilometers in the Adios Pro 4 now, and it's taken some time for me to get used to the shoe. Initially, my thoughts were that it was not as good as the Adios Pro 3. I prefer the more firmer foam in the Adios Pro 3. But in hindsight now, over 300 kilometers in the shoe, I have to admit it is a better shoe. Definitely the lockdown, the upper, all that side of things is the fit, the step-in feel way better than the Adios Pro 3. Efficiency-wise, this shoe is way more efficient to run in. It just bounds you along, and it's just a stunning shoe. But let's talk about this particular colorway. This is the 25th anniversary shoe for the Adios Pro. Well, not the Adios Pro 4, but basically for the Adios name, because the Adios was released originally 25 years ago as a marathon racing shoe, and broke the marathon record with Haile Gebrselassie. So this is a tribute to that shoe. And you can see here we've got the 25. We've got here, I've got it here. It says racing. That's pretty cool. I wonder what it says under the flap actually. Have they kept under the same thing? Runner on board. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's different. Does the Takumi Sen... No, that doesn't have anything written on there. Okay. That's interesting. So, runner on board. That's a nice little message from Adidas. Yeah, so it's a beautiful colorway. You've got the yellow with the blue stripes, and you've got red inside. You've got that light lock, as you can see here, 39mm stack height. And yeah, so it's a stunning shoe, and I really enjoy running in this shoe. This is obviously I use it for my sort of longer runs, probably about twice a week, and sort of 20-25k runs. And let's have a look at the traction here. So we've got a black outsole with the Continental toe-off rubber there. So this is the light traction system that they've introduced. You can see the energy rods there. We've got that bright yellow colorway. Oh, I'm going to dive into these ones this weekend. And yeah, we've got that padding on the top. The laces, a lot of people complain about the Adidas laces in the Adizero range. I don't mind them, to be honest. I have no issues with them whatsoever. They're really light. They don't absorb any sweat or anything like that. So I have no issues with it whatsoever. So yeah, that's that. So we'll put that aside, and we'll get into the new colorway for the Evo SL. So this is the latest colorway that's been released for the Evo SL. It's sort of like a aqua green with the yellow stripes. That looks stunning. That's a really nice colorway. I really like that colorway. And this is a shoe. It's got the Light Strike Pro foam in it. It's not the same Light Strike Pro foam as the Adios Pro 4. It's the older version that's in the Adios Pro 3. So this shoe here, I've got probably the silver version. I've got, I think, about 280 kilometers in at the moment. It takes some time to break this foam in. This foam starts working really well and really nice and soft and squishy and bouncy, probably around about 80 to 100 kilometers in. But the durability, I love this outsole. This outsole here, this structure outsole is my favorite. Full Continental rubber coverage. The grip and the bite that you get on this shoe is phenomenal. Now, the light traction system that they use on the Adios Pro 4, the Boston 13, the new Primex 3 strung, they're using this type of outsole, this sort of new plastic, I think it's called a TPU outsole. It's really good, I have to admit. I mean, it's also just as durable, just as grippy as this outsole, but it's a lot sort of softer to the touch. This is a lot sort of more compliant. But this one here, I just feel that when I grip down, it just grips, and you can see here, it just doesn't move. Like, I just get so much better sort of traction from this type of Continental outsole than I do with this one. Now, once I'm going at speed and I'm hitting the forefoot here and hitting toeing off with this Continental rubber, that's when you sort of get that really the bite, and you feel like, you know, you're biting into the tarmac and dragging yourself forward, and it's really sort of gripping. So, but you really need to sort of be landing like that. And you can see here, when I put on the glass, you can see that it sort of slides a little bit. It's got good grip. I don't get me wrong. And to be honest, in the this works fantastically when the tarmac is a little bit sort of hot, and it sort of the rubber here sort of gets it tacky, and that's when it starts working the best. I find that in colder temperatures, this sort of outsole works better. Don't get me wrong, this still works excellent, but this outsole here seems to work better in the sort of colder climates than this one here. That's just my opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion. That's how I see it. So yeah, that's the Evo SL, the new colorway that we've got. So yeah, I usually get around 500 to 600 kilometers out of my shoes. I like to have some different color shoes in my rotation as well. But yeah, so this is like a daily trainer. Just use it. I mean, to be honest, the Evo SL was an absolute fantastic shoe. Once the Lightstrike Pro 3 is broken in, absolutely brilliant shoe. Lockdown is fantastic. Stepping comfort, amazing. This tongue is superb. I have no issues whatsoever. Breathability of the upper is excellent. You know, easy 5, 6, 700 kilometers you'll get out of this shoe. The Lightstrike Pro 3 foam just goes and goes and goes and gets better over time. I find it that in the Adios Pro 3 that it started sort of losing its, I guess, pop, as they call it, around about the 400 to 500 kilometer mark. It starts sort of losing its pop. I mean, it sort of gets too compliant and it starts losing its pop. But sort of between the 80 to sort of 300 kilometer mark, I find that that's the sweet spot for this Lightstrike Pro 3 foam. Like I said, I've got, I think, 200 odd kilometers in this one. I've heard people say that this foam, the Lightstrike Pro foam, the new one in the Adios Pro 4, sort of goes downhill as soon as you take it out of the box. I don't agree with that. I feel it's exactly the same after 200 kilometers as it was when I took it out of the box. The bounciness, the responsiveness, everything, I have no issues whatsoever with this foam. This foam is different to this one because this one is basically broken in straight away. It's nice and soft, squishy, bouncy, propels you forward. Yeah, so I'm not too sure why people say that. Some people anyway, but I find it that it's perfectly fine. So yeah, well, that's those two. So we've got that, and we've got the older Takumi Sen 10. Let's get to the star of the show, which is the Takumi Sen 11. Let's see what we got here. So this is the, obviously, like I said, it's the new colorway. You can get this in a few different colors. But, oh wow, this is so light. This is the first time I've taken it out of the box. I haven't seen this before yet. This is just, oh dear. That's really, really light. I'm curious to see on the scales of justice how this looks out. So I just want to compare the uppers. So as I said, this has got a 30, I think it's 36 mil. So sorry, it's 33 mil we've got in the heel. Usually it's 36 for me and 29. So we've got 33 and 27, I guess, or 27, 26. Yeah, because I think it's got a 7 mil drop, this one. So we've got a very similar upper to the Adios Pro 4 here in the Takumi Sen. Have they got a message? Oh, I don't know what that says. That's in Japanese. That's a Japanese symbol. I have no idea what that says. So hit me up in the comments and let me know what that says, because I don't know what that means. But that's a hidden message again from Adidas, as you can see. Now this Lightstrike Pro material that's in this Takumi Sen, they say, and just from the feel, this is way firmer. You can see here. than this. So this is way softer than the older Takumi Sen 10. But it is not as... Oh, okay. I don't think it's the same compound that they're using in the Adios Pro 4. I think this compound is a compound that is in between this compound and this compound. So it's not as soft as this, but it's not as firm as the older Lightstroke Pro that's used in the Takumi Sen 10. So, and I'm guessing that's probably because they've got the energy rods there, and because it's a lower stack, it can't be too squishy. Although the Adios Pro 9 uses the same compound as the Lightstroke Pro. So, interesting direction that Adidas have gone. So the tongue looks like it's a little bit different here. So you can see here the tongue has actually got some padding on the inside. So I can't really get in there, but yeah, there you go. You can see here. You see here at the top, that's where the padding is for the tongue. There's nothing on the top. Oh, there is a little bit here. So there's a little bit just under the Adizero symbol, and then there's some strips that run along the side of the tongue on the inside of the padding. Whereas on the Adios Pro 4, it runs basically from here to the top to avoid lace bite. And then, so it's a little bit different from the front. You can see here, that's more rounded. It's sort of a combination of the Adios Pro 9 upper and the Adios Pro 4 upper, this Takumi Sen upper. Okay. Same exact laces as the Adios Pro 4. Nice, beautiful colorway. You've got that sort of grey felt here. Very nice. The bumpers at the back of the heel, they're actually a lot more padded. You can see here, it's a lot more padded than the Adios Pro 4. There's not as much, it's not as soft, sort of, plush, I'll call it. It's not as plush as the padding that's the bumper stops that are in here. But the back of the heel cup, that's basically got nothing there, so that's exactly the same. But it just feels really nice. Bit rough along here because it sort of dips down, and you can see it stops, and then you've got some stitching here. So people might have a few issues with rubbing here. I've never had that issue. With the Adios Pro 4, they've actually got that going all the way. You can see. Whereas here, it sort of stops and dips down. I wonder why they've done that. Interesting. Why they didn't continue the that all the way through, because here you can feel the stitching. It's really sort of rough. They probably didn't think that he needed it. Yeah. So you've got the so as opposed to the Adios 9, you've got the carbon infused energy rods, and to be honest, they're exactly the same as these. Obviously, it's in a different spot, but you can see that's probably what it looks like over here. They've got a massive cutout here. So if you compare it to the... Interesting. Maybe it is a little bit different, these energy rods. I think the construction of them is different. You can see here from the Takumi Sen 10 and the Takumi Sen 11, they are very different. Obviously, the outsole here is totally different design. This is what they've got on the Evo SL, and then they've got the massive Continental rubber there. whereas this has got that light traction system similar to the Adios Pro 4. And they've got that toe-off section in the Continental rubber. The groove cutout seems like it's sort of got a bit of structure there, very similar to the Takumi Sen. It looks width-wise, let's have a see here. We'll put it like this. I think width-wise they're about, it's a little bit wider, the shoe. So it comes out a little bit wider there, and the cutout here on the side is much less than this. Here you can actually see the exposed energy rod. Here they've got it, they don't have that there. And the cutout, the groove, this is much more grooved out, but here it's it's narrower, but it's deeper, the groove. Definitely a bit wider. At the back it looks as though it's the same, so not much difference there, but looks like in the forefoot and around the arch area they've widened it out a little bit, because a lot of people were saying that this shoe, the Takumi Sen 10, that as you run, they would sort of, it would push you to the like that, and that it would collapse, make you collapse on the inside. I never had that issue, but a few people said they had that issue. So I'm guessing that Adidas have tried to sort that issue out by restructuring that under the arch area. You can see there they've beefed up the arch area, so to avoid people from collapsing sort of like that way. Now there's no paper in there. This one's got a bit of paper. I just really want to get these on scales and see how much they weigh. Sorry guys, this is turning out to be a bit of a long video, but I sort of wanted to do a full comparison of the Adizero line just to give you guys an idea of what you're going to be getting. So let's turn these scales on. As you can see, zeroed out. And what have we got? So for my US 12, 224 grams. For the Takumi Sen 11. So let's just put that on again. 223 grams, yep. 223, 224, yeah, 224. Takumi Sen 10, this feels already a lot heavier, which is actually, when it came out, was a light shoe. So there you go, 236. So, yeah, 236 as opposed to 224. So we've got a 12 gram saving in the new version of the Takumi Sen. Nice. Adios Pro 4. What have we got? 237. Usually it's 236, I think, but there you go, 237. 238, actually, that's correct. Yeah, 238. That way. Yeah, 238 grams. So obviously this shoe's got a lot more stack height than the Takumi Sen 11, which is going to be probably the lightest shoe in the range. 224 grams. And then we've got the Evo SL. What does that come in? Curious to see, 276. That's a pretty good weight for a US 12 daily trainer, which is basically the highest stack height shoe that we've got in this range here, and it's using the older Lightstrike Pro 3, so it's about 40 grams heavier than the Adios Pro 4, the Evo SL, but on foot it actually doesn't feel that heavy, to be honest. But I'm dying to get this Takumi Sen 11 out on the road and see how it stacks up. I might pause the video and put it on feet and give you guys an idea of what it looks like on feet. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, guys. The shoe's on foot. So my first opinion of getting it on, really easy, nice and easy. You've got that light lock system for the laces, so the tongue stays put. very similar sort of feeling to when you're putting the Adios Pro 4 on, or the Adios. The Adios 9 is a bit different. The tongue is totally different to this. So yeah, the upper is different. So you can't really compare the Takumi Sen 11 to the Adios 9. It's more of a comparison to the more of a sort of 5-10k speed session shoe for the to the Adios Pro 4. So let's just walk around and see. Yeah, it's definitely softer than the um, Takumi Sen 10, but yeah, I can feel the foam. You can see here. It's yeah, pretty soft. I mean, it's definitely bouncy, and I can see the rocker is not much of a rocker. So you're going to have to work with this shoe. I'm guessing that you're going to rely on the foam and the energy rods to propel you forward, whereas the Adios Pro 4 has got that pronounced rocker here, which helps you sort of roll forward through your stride. This here is more for the, I guess, sort of experienced runner that you're going to be using your calves more to help you get through your stride. Now I'll definitely say that it's definitely true to size. You can see here my big toe basically is right at the end, and I like it that way. Now if I push my foot to the back, you can see here it's right there, so that's not a problem. And usually if I can fit a finger at the back, that's perfect for me. So lockdown is excellent. No need for a runner's knot. People use runner's knots. I don't understand it. I've never used a runner's knot in any shoe, and I never have any issue. I never have any heel slippage. So I don't understand why people go on about this runner's knot. It's a waste of time. So that's what the shoe looks like on the side. You can see the 3 stripes. It does feel, it definitely feels more generous around this section here. It's definitely more generous. The upper feels a lot more sort of, you can wiggle your toes around. It just doesn't feel as constricting to the toes. It's not like squashing your toes in here. Whereas the older one, you could tell, is much more of a narrower, if I do this, much more of a narrower platform, the upper. This is definitely wider, and obviously with this new material, it's more forgiving, I think. So yeah, going to take these out for a run probably today, maybe tomorrow, see how we go. But looking forward to putting the kilometers in these and reporting back on how I feel they run. So if you like this video, I might leave it there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A quick rundown of the sort of latest Adizero lineup of shoes. I've got the Adios 9 as well, but I didn't think that was sort of relevant to bring into this, because people are probably going to be using that as a daily trainer, that as a marathon long distance trainer, and then for speed sessions, the Takumi Sen 11. But anyway, I'll wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.